This is Shruti from Kolkata. Who's your favorite author?
Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut.
Hey you beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. I always was, I am and I always be a big fan of Sushant Singh Rajput. Not just on screen but his presence in interviews, his presence on social media where he used to talk to people, talk about beautiful ideas and help people in need. All of these characteristics make me like him even more, but the fact that he was a bookworm, he was a bibliophile and he had a diversified range of reads makes me like him even more. You would rarely find a celebrity talking about such beautiful stuff, be it science fiction, be it AI, machine learning. And you know, for those who are new to my channel, I had made a video sometime back where I discussed books that Sushant Singh Rajput had recommended. It is one of the most special videos that I have ever made, and in that video I had basically talked about the books which Sushant Singh Rajput had recommended. So although I have read a lot of books which were recommended by him, suddenly I remembered that he had also talked about his favorite author, his favorite writer. In an interview, in a rapid fire question, he had said that Kurt Vonnegut is his favorite writer. So I had heard about Kurt Vonnegut, but I never really got a chance to read books of Kurt Vonnegut. So it just hit me that I have to read Kurt Vonnegut, and I found out that Slaughterhouse-Five is Kurt Vonnegut's most famous novel. This was the novel that put Kurt Vonnegut on the map of great literature. So I decided to read this book, and man, like I was totally blown away. Since the time I have read that book, I have been thinking about a lot of things. I have been contemplating over some of the trivial things in our life, and the writing style of the book was extremely odd. It was very original, and I personally have never ever read a book which was this different. So that is why I wanted to make this particular video where I would be talking about the book Slaughterhouse-Five, which is written by Kurt Vonnegut. So in this video I'll tell you all about the book. You'll get to know why this book is very different. You'll get to know the story of the book, and also you would understand that why Sushant Singh Rajput loved Kurt Vonnegut. You definitely know this when I tell you about the book. So make sure you watch the video till the end. You may never know which thought or fact may resonate with you and change the course of your life. So let's get started. So let's talk about the book now, Slaughterhouse-Five. So it is a fictional story, and this book is very short, like it's not almost 176 pages long. I completed this book in a single day in two sittings. Because I had adorable distractions while I was reading this book. The plot was so interesting that I could not help myself but to know what happens next, and I wanted to complete this book as soon as possible. The book starts off slow and takes some time to build, but once you get the hang of it, it is impossible to stop, at least for a science fiction nerd, at least for a person who loves science fiction. So let's talk about the book now. The book is centered around the bombing which happened in Dresden post Second World War. Actually, the writer Kurt Vonnegut was present during that time in the city of Dresden, and he experienced this whole war scenario firsthand. And it might feel that because the author himself went through these experiences, this book might be something which is related to war, the sadness of war and the PTSD which people have, soldiers have after they have completed a war, after they have been through the war. But this book is not at all about the harsh nature of war. It is a satirical book. The book starts with a war veteran who wants to write his experiences of the World War II. Basically, he is an alias of Kurt Vonnegut himself, and they talk about a central character named Billy Pilgrim. Now this person, Billy Pilgrim, has been in the war, and something very different has occurred with him. He has become unstuck in time. So what does that mean? It means that he somehow has this ability to jump from one time to another. Basically, he has this ability to time travel into different moments of his life. So throughout the book, Billy keeps on jumping between his future, his past, his present. So he keeps on switching between the events which are happening in the future and in the past. This happens because on a certain day, aliens come and visit him, take him to his planet where he is showcased in a zoo as an earthling. This book has a satirical humor, has a science fiction base, has time travel, has war stuff, It basically has everything, but when you understand the core theme of the book, it will really blow your mind. Okay, so we have novels which talk about time travel, which talk about war, but there is something very peculiar about this book. Let me explain this with the help of a diagram. Okay, so let's talk about the writing style of Kurt Vonnegut. I certainly feel like a teacher here, but just hear me out. I'm not geeking you guys out. This is very, very interesting. So Kurt Vonnegut says that generally a story has a shape, and generally stories are written in a certain form, a certain shape, and he tried to explore the shapes of stories. So he basically plotted a graph of the central character. So this is the start of the novel and this is the end of the novel. The positive y-axis is the good fortune of the character and this is the bad fortune of the character. So generally stories are written in such a way that they follow this graph. This is a fairy tale story and this is a shape graph of a Cinderella story, Cinderella kind of a story. And generally every story can be plotted in this way. They have a certain curve, a certain shape. But the most interesting part of this graph is, but Kurt Vonnegut's stories lie somewhere here. They lie on the x-axis. You cannot always say whether the situation in which the character is it a good fortune for him or is it a bad fortune for him. So he tried to keep all of the experiences on this graph, and suddenly it occurred to him that he should not follow a certain chronology. There's a certain notion in the novel which says that you're basically present in all the moments of your life. The chronology which he has followed in this book is basically in this way. There is no chronology. The book starts randomly and the book ends randomly. There is no traditional start and end to the book. So this is how the book looks actually if you find out about the writing style of the book, which I think is very, very interesting. He's tried to adhere to the philosophy about which he's talking in the book, that we are all present, in the past, in the future. We are basically trapped in the moments of time.
ये सारी चीजें हो रही हैं, ये होंगी नहीं, हो रही हैं, and it has always been like this. Future is already here. It is just unevenly distributed. उसको पूरा आने में थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, लेकिन आ जाएगा. आज नहीं तो कल आ ही जाएगा, क्योंकि it is inevitable, it is mathematical, it is that precise.
So during all of his journey, you will get to understand that how we always are trying to decipher meaning of what actually happens. We always want to know what is the meaning of this thing, why is this thing happening. So there's a beautiful anecdote in the book which I'd like to share. In the chapter 4 of Slaughterhouse 5, there is a very interesting conversation which happens between Billy and the alien. Billy asks the alien that why me, that why is this happening to me? Then the alien says that this is such an earthling question to ask, this is such a trivial question to ask. Why you, why us, why anything? The alien says that because the moment simply is. Have you ever seen a mosquito trapped in the amber? This is generally used as a paperweight in many of the offices. So in the same way, we are all trapped in the amber of the moment. There is no why, which is actually the core theme of the book, that wherever you are right now, you are trapped in that moment. Because we are human beings and we cannot experience time non-linearly, we can only experience time in a certain way, in one direction. But these beings which are from another dimension maybe, they experience time as whole, as a circle. They can literally go into any moment of the past or present. So basically Billy is present everywhere. Billy is present in his past, he's present in his present, he's also present in his future. And it's just that whenever we focus our attention on one particular moment, that moment becomes our reality. But the actual case might be different. So this is a very profound thought. If you have not understood, I'm sorry to confuse you. But if you think about it, this is also explained in the movie Interstellar. If you have not seen the movie, this might be a spoiler alert for you. But in the end, when the character of Cooper goes back in time, he's shown all the moments of his life. He can basically access all those moments. So this was the similarity that I found out. And it really intrigues me that what a beautiful mind Kurt Vonnegut had, and I can see why Sushant Singh Rajput really loved this writer. I have finished 2 more books of Kurt Vonnegut, and even those books are extraordinary. The kind of philosophy that Kurt Vonnegut is trying to convey through his work is something which is very different and very original. So yeah, that was all about the book. I highly recommend you guys to read Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. Some people might not like it because it is a different philosophy. Like I'm reading Cat's Cradle now, and it has a philosophy known as Baconism. It is something very eccentric. Some people may not relate to it, but it's always good to explore new ideas, right? And because this book has a touch of science fiction and time travel, it makes an interesting read for people who really like science fiction. So a lot of you guys have been asking me that do recommend science fiction books. I had been recommending Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for a long time, but now I would always recommend Slaughterhouse 5 also. in this list. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for all the support that you have given me. We are a family of over 20,000 subscribers now. A lot of you guys congratulated me and send out messages which were really heartwarming. I would like to thank all of you, and lots of you guys have been asking me about the giveaway. Because the conditions are not right in our country right now, there is lockdown everywhere. I thought let's just take a pause, and we will definitely have a giveaway as soon as things are back to normal and the operations are again back to how they were and the lockdown is relaxed. We'll definitely have a giveaway. I really want to celebrate everything with you guys. So thank you so much for all the support. If you've liked the video, do comment down below what your thoughts are. Share this video if you feel this video would be beneficial to someone, and don't forget to like the video. Consider subscribing to my channel if you find my content valuable. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.